There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails hold their secret tales that'd make your blood run cold. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, Sam only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him as in a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. 'Twas a Christmas day, and we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. The talk of your cold through the parka's fold that stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes would close, then our lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. And it wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe. He turned to me, and Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and he says with a sort of moan, it's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet it ain't being dead, but it's my awful dread of an icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair you'll cremate my last remains. Well, Pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore that I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but oh, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. But before nightfall, the corpse was all that remained of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I rushed on hard-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. And in the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies round dinner ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow, but on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was a-getting low. And the trail got bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I'd not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and they'd hearken with a grin. And I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict therein lay. 'Twas jammed in the ice, and I saw in a trice 'twas called the Alice May. Well, I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, said I with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, and such a blaze you seldom see. I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the winds began to blow. And it was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. How long in the snow I do not know, I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about, ere again I ventured near. And I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, all cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. And since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. Strange things are done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails hold their secret tales that'd make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge that I cremated Sam McGee.